You are listening to episode 50 of Behind the BS with special guest Jeshkarae. Enjoy. Today's podcast is brought to you by GamerGoo. GamerGoo, dominate the competition. Check out gamergoo.com and don't forget to use promo code MML to save. What's up, everyone? Mystic Mike here with Behind the BS, Behind the Broadcasting Software, and today's guest is Jeshkarae, right?
Jeshkarae.
Jeshkarae. You know what? I was saying it like that the whole time, and then right now I'm like, maybe it's actually Jessica Ray.
Well, my name is Jessica, so that's where it's derived from.
Okay. I was going to ask you that, where you came up with your name. Why did you add the Jesh? The Jesh?
I honestly don't know how it happened, but I've always been called that since like high school.
Oh, really?
I had friends that called me Jeshka for some reason. I don't know. And it just kind of stuck because my middle name kind of has to go with the Ray part of it. So yeah. I just put it together and it kind of always has worked. Ever since I started streaming, it's been
Jeshka.
Yeah.
I like it. And you know, like I said, it's so funny because the whole time I'm like Jeshka. And my wife's like, who are you talking to today? I'm like Jeshka and King. And she's like, Jeshka. I'm like, yeah, look at Jesh. And she's like, oh, cool. And then I don't know why right now I'm just like, I'll just go with Jessica Ray.
Yeah.
Brain fart. Yeah. What I need you to do then is introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do. And then we'll jump into the fun.
Okay. So my name is Jeshkarae. I am a part-time streamer on Watch Mixer or Mixer.com. I have been streaming since 2013. I originally started on Twitch.tv, did that for a few years, and then a friend of mine that is actually a partner on Mixer referred me to Beam at the time, and I started kind of moving myself over to Mixer at that time, still doing like restream so I could stream on both. And then I made the move a couple months after that because I just didn't see the growth that I wanted to on Twitch. So yeah, I've been on Mixer for 2 years.
Nice.
and I've loved it. I love the community. I love all my friends that I've made. Also, in terms of like my streams, I do gaming, but I primarily love to focus on creative makeup effects streams.
Yes.
I don't do them a lot. I believe in quality over quantity in terms of streaming, at least for my point of view with my stuff. So I like to do research. I like to create custom scenes for stuff that I do, making it all cohesive in terms of the theme of it. Yeah. So I love doing that for my viewers and my community. And yeah, I just like to have fun with my viewers and make them a part of the stream more so than them just watching me do something.
It's so awesome though that you'll do the custom scenes for each one because then it makes it almost like a brand new stream every time you do it. And
and it's sorry.
Oh no, go for it. I was just gonna say that's really neat because then it like you said, it does provide more content. Or more quantity, I guess. Well, more content over the quantity, I guess, or it increases the quality. Is a better way to put it.
So I come from like a really high creative background, not so much with streaming, but like when I was younger, I loved photography, I loved painting, I loved drawing. So I'm a very large artsy creative person. Mm-hmm. So it makes it really fun for me to like come up with a stream like, hey guys, there's going to be this awesome stream in 2 weeks. It's going to be themed such and such. And then from there, I can create custom interactives with Firebot. I can create custom scenes that I can transition to for like donations or be right back or whatever. And then, also creating custom overlays to kind of go with the theme and stuff. I love doing that. Yep. And sometimes, it's based on like maybe incentivized streams. So it's like if I have a dono goal, like for PAX West last year, I did a lot of streams that were incentivized in terms of like viewers being able to do something and me having to reciprocate with something. So like if they donated, then I had to do something crazy.
Yeah.
From like January of last year to when PAX was in September or August, September, I did a thing called PAX Pox. So, you hear all these people going to, PAX conventions and everything, they get sick usually afterwards. So I thought it would be funny to do an incentivized thing for donations, hosts, and follows and stuff, where anytime there was something that happened, I put dots on my face. And whoever instigated it got to pick the color. And then I ended up, sometimes having hundreds of dots on my face.
Oh, wow.
And it was just really funny to do because people were like, oh, well, I want it to be right in the middle of your face, like on your nose. So you have to stare at the whole time that you're streaming and just different stuff like that. It makes it funny because you're not only creating content for them, but you're creating this like, oh, well, if I do this, haha, I'm going to sabotage her type of thing. And then it makes it fun
exactly.
for the viewers. It makes it fun for like the person actually instigating it. And then it makes it funny for you as the streamer. So then, you feel like you're doing more as a streamer in terms of creativity and content and entertainment.
Yeah, 100%. And plus you're involving them which makes them feel like they're genuinely a part of the stream now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've always been really weird about donations with viewers. I never like just getting a donation for nothing.
Yeah.
I've always been so weird about that. So if I ever need donations for, like right now, I need new PC parts. So, I'm trying to come up with ways to incentivize that, but doing it in a way where they actually get something out of it in terms of me making a fool of myself. Because I've done blender challenges. I've done the PAX Pox. I've done turn my face into a pizza face, which was really funny. No. And just different stuff like that.
I have to ask, what is the blender challenge?
So last year, it was around my birthday, July. This was one of my biggest streams that I created, like overlays and stuff for.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it online, they have these things called blender challenges where you can let your viewers, your subscribers, whoever is your viewership, select things to go into this smoothie, this blended smoothie, and you have to drink it.
Oh, God.
So this was one of my favorite streams that I came up with. I know the idea of a blender challenge isn't creative or new, but I thought it was really fun for like the streaming, incentivize getting viewers involved type thing. So I created, like I had my main scene where I'm gaming and stuff, and I had like a little JPEG or PNG image that I made in Photoshop of a shopping list. So I went to Dollar Tree and I got like sardines, I got pickles, I got what's some nasty stuff that I hate, like onions. Just anything you could think of, because you can get everything at Dollar Tree now. So I got all this stuff. I made a shopping list of what I needed for my smoothie, and that was always on the stream overlay. And if somebody bought something, like say there was items that were $5, $10, $20, $50, and then like I had $100 item, I would check that item off the list to show people like what else they needed to buy, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so if somebody donated like $10, say, I would bring it over to this overlay thing where it looked like shelves of groceries.
Yeah.
With paper bags over the items. It made me think of like The Price is Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have like the prices and everything, and it's like, okay, you donated $10. Which bag that is worth $10 do you want to buy today? And then they'll be like, okay, bag number 5. And then I revealed that bag number 5 was mustard. And then, so I left that open, and then I transferred it over to another scene where it looks like with my green screen, it looks like I'm sitting behind a checkout counter. Oh, cool. And I created it to make it look like it had a flashing light. Yeah. And I also put an audio source in the background of like the checkout beeps.
Oh, yeah. Beep.
And on the receipt that's like coming out of the register, it has their name and their donation amount on there. It's like, oh, thanks for checking out groceries at Jeshkarae Mart. Here's your receipt. Hope you have a great day, and thanks again. And then it transfers back to like the main gaming thing, and then I check off the amount. And it's like, okay, we have one more item checked off our grocery list. Thanks, guys. And it just made it like so cohesive and fun, and people ate it up. They loved it.
So would
absolutely
you
loved it.
Wait until all the items are bought to blend, or was it like?
Yes.
Oh man.
I set a specific time. I said I need to have all of my groceries bought by 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or Central Time or whatever. Yeah. And And it's like, if I don't get everything, it's fine. I'll just blend what I have. I had almost everything except for the very last $100 item, which was sour cream, because I absolutely hate sour cream. It's
Oh,
disgusting.
really?
Yes. So I had every item other than the sour cream in my smoothie. And then I because they were like, we don't expect you to drink the whole thing. It was funny. And if you just take a couple sips afterwards, and I was like, no, I'll drink. And they're like, no, we really don't want to see you throw up.
Yeah, no one wants to watch that.
So then I incentivized, like, for every $1, I do a sip.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah.
After it was blended, but it was like brown and chunky and kind of gray, so it looked gross.
Oh.
So I was like, guys, I'm going to set a time for this too. Like, if y'all are going to donate, do it before this time, because after this time, it's going to be warm.
Yeah.
And it's probably not going to be drinkable. So
if it already was drinkable.
Yeah, it wasn't. But it was just something fun that I could do. And I also enjoyed creating everything for that stream, because it's my absolute favorite stream of all time, probably to date.
That is awesome.
When I did that.
Did you save that at all and post it on YouTube or anything like that?
I think I have a few, like, boom.
Okay, some boom clips.
Yeah, of it, but I don't think I recorded it, and if I did, I've lost it, because I've moved since then, and a lot of my stuff was messed up, like, saved wise on my hard drive whenever I moved, and I lost a lot of stuff. So probably can't get that back, but at least I had a lot of viewers, a lot of people that I knew, and, some that I didn't know, but, it was just great to have a lot of people that I knew in the community be there for it, so they could actually see it and experience it. Because now it's not that big of a deal that I don't have it, just because there was so many people that stopped by to see it. And I'm like, oh, I don't need this. Anybody that came in today, great, awesome. I'm not feeling pressured to post it or anything, even though it was a really fun stream. But
I just want to see what it looked like. It's just, I'm thinking like sardines and onions and I
can show it to you later. I have the stuff still saved on my OBS, like my overlays and stuff.
Okay. I can
show it to you.
Okay, I definitely want to see what that would look like.
Okay.
It's such a good idea, and all I'm keep thinking of, because you got the ingredients, so because I was like, if I was to leave it up to my viewers, because they know how much I hate onions, it would be nothing but an onion smoothie, probably, with like pickled onions and Spanish onions and I'd be like, no, you guys keep your money. I'm not drinking.
That's sorry.
I was gonna say, we recently did a challenge where it was because I like avocados, and then the challenge was if we could get to a certain milestone on the Sparks, if we didn't reach it, I would eat an onion. If we did reach it, or no, if we reached it, I would eat the onion. If I didn't reach it, I would eat the avocado. And everyone pushed so hard, and they managed to get me to eat a bunch of like cocktail onions, and
that's awesome.
I was pretty sick the next day.
I would be too. Yeah. That reminds me, I did something kind of the same. So I had my viewers help me get home for Christmas, because I had recently moved in October to a completely different state where I don't have any friends or family. Mm-hmm. So I really wanted to be able to go home for Christmas. And at the time I was unemployed. I didn't have any money. So I came up with a few different makeup looks.
Yep.
Each time that I streamed, I tried to stream every day that week leading up to Christmas, but things happen. Yeah. And I wasn't able to do every day, but I did, I think, 5 different looks. So one day, I think it was the very first day. So the very first day I did it, I was a female version of the Grinch. And if we got to, I think it was like $100, the first $100 in the donation goal, I'd take a huge bite out of an onion, and I hate onion. But the Grinch is known for eating onions and being disgusting. So I tried to make it kind of themed like that.
Yeah.
And we got there, and I had to take a huge bite out of an onion, and it was disgusting.
I couldn't.
But it was super funny.
Yeah, I know. I know, like, watching the VODs and stuff of my own, I was like, I laughing my butt off. But at the same time, the next day, I was like, I was really sick. My wife was like, well, that's what you get for eating onions. I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah. I was like, but it was for charity too, so it was worth it. So I was like, like, okay, it sucked at the time, but you know what? It was for a really good cause. Yeah. But I won't do it again for a while.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's very situational when you put yourself out there like that to be miserable later on.
Definitely. But people like to watch it. They like to see us miserable.
That's why I do most of it, because people love it so much.
Exactly. What would you say is the number one reason most people fail at streaming? And what advice would you give them?
I feel like I'm in this boat, kind of, because I haven't been streaming a lot since I moved. I know that a lot of streamers, me included, we suffer from mental illness, anxiety, depression.
Yep.
And I feel like a lot of the times that people fail isn't their fault, because it has to do with mental illness. It has to do with anxiety and depression, because that can keep you from streaming. And it's really sad because you see these great people that, maybe want to stream all the time, but they're like, man, I just don't feel it. Yep. And it's not so much like they don't have the drive, because for me personally, like, I always want to stream, always want to. But there's this thing in the back of my head, like, oh, you probably won't get viewers. You probably, something's probably going to break, which is, a truth for me right now with my computer being crazy. And just stuff like that. People set themselves up to fail because of depression or anxiety. And I'd say, make that extra push. I know I have to push myself daily, to go to the gym, to, make myself feel better. Do that stream, even though you may not get any viewers, or maybe you'll get one viewer. Maybe nothing will happen, in terms of something bad, and it'll end up being a great stream, but you can't, be like, oh, nobody's going to go. It's not that big. Nobody's going to miss me.
Yeah.
If you don't put out that content, nobody's ever going to see it. Nobody's going to ever know that you put forth the effort. And I think that's a big thing. Just putting forth that effort is big for viewers and communities, because, most communities, they have those people that, man, I will support you every day, whether you stream or not. And it's for those people. It's, keeping your community together, regardless of, what's going on with you. Is huge. And maybe it's for one person, maybe it's for 10 people that are a part of your community. But at least if you're making that impact for one person, it's huge, because, word of mouth, hey, man, my best friend Jeshkarae on Mixer is doing this great stream. She hasn't been on in a while, but I bet you $10 you won't regret following her, or whatever. And, it's those people that stay in your community and that support you. They deserve to see you. They've earned it, because if they've been around for a while and they always come in and say, hey, or whatever, or maybe you talk to them outside of stream, it's like, that's how you communicate with your friends. You catch up with people. And most of the time, if you're anxious or depressed, you want to be alone. Yeah. And I feel like for me, I need to have that contact, that communication with, my good friends. Yep. And I usually can get that through streaming. So I have to think of the positive things that I get from streaming. That's another thing that I would say is, like, just think of what you get out of streaming. Like, you get to talk to your friends. You get to meet new people. You get to play a video game and just enjoy yourself. Why take that away from yourself? You deserve to have fun. You deserve to have those friends, that community.
Oh yeah, exactly. And it's like you said, a lot of streamers do suffer from some form of mental illness, like myself included as well. Like I served in the military for 10 years. I suffer from PTSD, depression, and social anxiety. And I find streaming, I've been streaming for about a year now, and I find it's been the best therapeutic process for me. Like I've been on the medication, I've done the group stuff, I've done all that stuff. But I found since I started streaming, it's made the biggest positive impact on my life. And my doctor sees it, my wife sees it, like they can see that doing this is good, because it's like you said, it gives you that ability to talk to your friends, to meet new people, but it gives me the chance to do it in the safety of my home. So I'm not as on edge. Like if I was to go out to a party or something, I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't have fun. I wouldn't enjoy myself at all. I'd be like pacing, I'd be clicking my fingers. My wife would be like, all right, let's get out of here before you lose it. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. Take me home.
And that's what I was going to say too, is like with streaming, like you get so many things out of it, but you get to control what happens.
100%.
If you don't want people to see you, you don't have to have a webcam.
Yep.
If you want to play, a certain game, you get to choose it. They're not controlling, dictating your content, what you're going to play. If you don't want to see chat, don't have it up. You don't have to see what people are saying. Just sit there, game, do what you do, and you can enjoy yourself without the pressure of all this stuff, because you, at the end of the day, 100% get to control the content that you pump out, that you show on the platform that you're streaming on.
Yep. 100%.
And that's great. That's big because, like you said, for those that have social anxiety, yeah, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want you to have to see me. I could be in my pajamas right now and you wouldn't even know. You get to control the comfort level of which you're experiencing while you're doing your own thing.
Exactly.
And it's great.
It's amazing. And it's so awesome that the community is so on board with it too, especially on Mixer. I find like the Mixer community is amazing for that, because even if you do have to take that 1 or 2 or 3 or week off because you're just not in a right place mentally, that you don't want to put out that content, the community, I find, is so well that they'll back you up and they'll sit there and they'll tell you, nope, take the time off. If we see you streaming, we're not going to come in and watch, because we want you to stay off and we want you to take care of yourself. We want you to be healthy first. And I love that, because you don't see that very often, sadly, in IRL a lot, because a lot of times people just give you the whole, well, I don't understand, just suck it up. Why does that bother you? It's in the past. Get over it. It's like, yeah, but if it was that easy, then there'd be no mental illness. Yeah.
100%. I have loved Beam turning into Watch Mixer, whatever, the Mixer community, because they are so, I'd call it family oriented, because not only do a lot of streamers have wives that stream or, show their family while they're streaming, but they turn their communities into small families. So everybody takes care of each other. I have a friend of mine that who brought me over to Beam. He treats all of us in his stream, his community, like family. We mess with each other and we make fun of each other, but then we also support each other. We look at each other's streams, we host each other, we give our sparks and whatever. We try to, help each other with donations. We're super supportive. And I've seen that with a lot of different communities on Mixer, which I just find really awesome. One of the first people that I started watching was Lena Axios. Yeah. And she has, her mermaid fam. And I just loved that. I was like, this is what we needed. Like, I know that, other people on other platforms, they have communities, but it just feels like, okay, you are viewers, viewership, numbers, donations, monetary support, in whatever form. And it doesn't really feel like a family. It just feels like, hey guys, what's up? This is what's going to happen. Yeah, that's how I've always felt on other platforms. And I understood, people got to make money, this is how they're going to do it. But I feel like adding that extra, I don't know, being
humanity
more personable. Personable and, being more real about it. And, if something offends you, you call it out. You don't just let it scroll. Or if you're upset about something, you let your community know, like, hey, I'm really upset about something. Yep. Or I'm having a bad day, like you said, I need to take the day off. And it's like you said, we're family. Like, oh, no, you need to take care of yourself. Yep. You need to take the day, take a few days, however long, we'll be here. We'll be waiting. And we still support you. Because I get that myself when I'm like, I don't feel it. I'm not feeling it today. And I have some of my friends that are just like, hey, you need to take care of yourself. It's just, it's just a stream. It's not going to be life or death or the end of the world, whatever. So do what you need to do. Get right back into that grit, that good mindset. And then
come back strong.
Yeah.
Strong and better than before. On the topic of letting things scroll by, then we know with streaming, like trolls, negativity, it's going to happen. What do you do when confronted with that? And what advice would you give others to help them get over it, like especially newer streamers?
I feel like it's one of those things where with time and streaming, you get thicker skin. Yeah. I know when I first started streaming, if I was to be in that same boat as those that are just starting to stream, it did affect me. It would make me cry. It would make me anxious. It'd be like, people hate me. Oh my God. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's one of those things. It's like you start to learn as time goes on with streaming that there's that that anonymous.
Yep.
Yeah. But like that, you can be anonymous. Yep. Your screen name doesn't show where you live, what you look like, how you are as a person. And it's, that's how a lot of people get away with it. They don't know who I am, whatever. I can call them horrible names, say that they suck, whatever. And it took me a long time to realize that they're just people trying to get a rise out of somebody. It's not anything towards me personally. They don't hate me. They're not going to come after me. You know, it was a very personal thing at first. And then you just kind of learn that these people mean nothing to you.
Yeah.
If they're gone, if you get them timed out, banned, whatever, it's literally water under the bridge. There's nothing to be concerned about. You're going to have to deal with hundreds more in the future. Yep. And it's just taking one person out at a time. And what's great for me is I see it as like a game. Like if I get a troll, it's like, let's see, how can we deal with them today? Like go along with it. Try to tell them, you know, we're really sorry that you're having a bad day. I really hope you have a good day. But for now, we're going to let you just chill out and like ban them or time them out or whatever. Yeah. And I love that with Mixer that I've seen, if somebody were to like say something racist or super horrible, I love that you're able to report it and ban them. And they're usually taken out within seconds.
Yeah.
And most of these kids or people have like, you know, the Xbox, Microsoft accounts. And it's like, okay, you're about to lose everything.
Yeah.
Over a racist, mean, hurtful comment. Is that worth it to you? You know?
just to get a laugh at it. Maybe you're around, your buddies are there and you're just trying to watch this. I'll get a quick laugh. And then now you can't play a game.
Yeah. Like,
I've had a parent message me once and they're like, you got my son's account banned. And I'm like, well, and I sent them a screenshot. I'm like, this is what your son sent me. And then right away they're like, I apologize. No, he will be getting his thing taken away. And I'm like, yeah, you gotta be watching your kids too, because
yeah, that's a whole different subject that I could go on and on and on about.
Oh yeah,
it's just sad.
It is.
Is all it is.
It is really, because I mean, like I have a 10-year-old as well, and he's only allowed an hour a day on his electronics. Other than that, he's outside playing. And most times lately, he doesn't even want to go on his electronics. He'd rather be outside playing anyway, which I really like.
That's really great.
It's so, I love it. It's so nice to see, because it reminds me of my childhood where I didn't even have an hour of electronics. We had an NES.
Exactly.
And that was it.
That's how I was.
Yeah. Outside till the streetlights came on and come home.
Yeah, like I was outside on my bike, playing with my dogs, having to, you know, clean up the garden, going fishing, playing with my BB gun, you know, all this fun stuff. Yeah. It wasn't until like I was 16 that I finally actually I take that back. I don't want to tell lies. So I had a Sega Genesis when I was a little kid, like when they first came out.
Yeah.
But then my sister quickly broke that within a year. So I don't like to mention having a Sega Genesis just because I didn't get to play it a lot.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm being like a liar saying like, oh yeah, I had Sega Genesis, but
temporarily.
Yeah. But I didn't get like my first legitimate console that I played a lot until I was like 16. My dad got me a PS2.
Oh, nice.
But I didn't play video games on it like you would think with a controller. I played Guitar Hero. Yep. And I played Dance Dance Revolution.
Oh, nice. Guitar Hero, that was one of the best Guitar Heroes was when it came out on the PS2. Like I still play that every now and then. And it's so much fun because the new one, ever since they went under, is just, you got like 10 songs to play and that's it.
Yeah. And I think like just for me not having a huge gaming background, I think rings volumes to other people that just want to stream because, you know, they like games now or whatever. Because when I started streaming, that's literally when I started gaming.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I never had consoles growing up.
Yeah.
I never had any I would call professional like PC setups to play computer games. I didn't have any of that growing up. Literally, I was a outside kid. And I did arts and crafts a lot. You know, I was an artsy fartsy kid.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like my dad was like, oh, hell no, we ain't going to have this stuff in here. Because he was very, you know, I didn't have that crap when I was growing up.
Yep.
I was outside 100% of the time. And we went hunting and fishing and we played with dirt. Like that was
the childhood.
Yeah. And so my sister and I got the same thing growing up. So we didn't have access to any of that. Which
isn't bad.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm actually thankful for it because who knows how I would have turned out.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying that's bad, you know. Just me personally, I don't think I would have exceeded in certain things in life if I would have been playing video games all the time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I mean, like you said, it's not a bad thing, but it's, I just look back at my childhood and I had so much fun being outside all the time, fresh air. And, but, and again, I guess some people, depending on the person, that might be their video game, might be their escape from reality. Whereas for me, being outside is my escape from reality.
Exactly. I think it's very situational in terms of who this person is, what they like to do, how they are, personality wise. Because, I was a social butterfly growing up. I liked to be around people, outside with people, whatever. Yep. And I couldn't wrap my head around, talking to people through the computer. Like, it just didn't make sense to me when I was growing up.
What was it? ICQ? I think was the big one.
I never used any of those.
Oh, no. Yeah. That was the big one. I think it was ICQ and MSN Messenger. I remember when those came out and it was like, what is this? Why can't I just walk down the street and just invite me into your house? You literally live 2 houses down the road. Right.
It kind of makes me jealous, though, of past me, because I would memorize phone numbers, Yeah. That was our main point of contact, was remembering phone numbers or writing it down in a phone book and then dialing people. Yep. I can't memorize phone numbers to save my life now, because everything's, hey, Siri.
Yeah, pretty much. Or just go through your contact. I think the only number I know off by heart now is probably my wife's, just because my old job, I had a work phone and I didn't have her number programmed into it, because I would only use it at work and I would turn mine off and put it off to the side. So I just ended up memorizing it. And other than that, if you were to ask me anyone else's phone number, I'd be like, yeah, 1 second, let me get my phone.
Yeah, right. Give me 1 second. Yeah, let me scroll.
Speaking of games and stuff too, what games are you currently playing when you're not doing artsy streams?
I kind of dabble in a little bit of everything. I'm more of a casual gamer. Yeah. I play battle royale stuff. I like it. I make it. I try to get amusement out of it more so than trying to be good at it or whatever. Yeah. So I play PUBG with my boyfriend. He loves playing PUBG or Ring of Elysium, Apex Legends. So I try, and Overwatch too. I try to play stuff that he likes to play every once in a while. But other than that, I like to play like puzzle games or like, rest in peace, but the Telltale games. With their games, I love playing those. So like just selecting the, how things are going to be and seeing how it turns out with like the storyline that they've created. I love those games. The Walking Dead games are my absolute favorite. And I played the last episode of the final season Walking Dead game last month, and I bawled.
Oh, yeah, because they're all done now,
times. Right? Yep. Oh. They're all done.
So sad. It
really was.
I never played any of them, to be honest with you.
Oh, they're so good. The story from the very first one to the very last episode of the last game is just incredible.
Is it related at all to the show?
No.
Oh, okay. See, that's the only reason that always kept me away, because I was like, well, I've already watched most of the show. I don't really want to play a game where I'm playing the show, because then I already know what's going to happen or what possibly can happen. But if it's its own separate thing, I'm going to have to check it out. Yeah,
it's its own separate thing. And they did make one Walking Dead game. I'm trying to think. I think it was called Survival.
Yeah.
And that one did have ties to the show, because it had Daryl and, God, why can't I think of his brother's name right now?
Oh,
what the heck is his name?
Daryl and
Merle. Right?
Yeah, Merle.
Okay. So it's actually called The Walking Dead Survival Instinct, and so it's both of them. Or at least, the main game is about Daryl, and then, Merle's in there just getting it. But I didn't like that game much, but because it's not set up like a Telltale game.
Okay.
I just tried it out to see what it was like, but it's okay, but it's kind of infuriating, because it has the things where you have to figure out what you need to do to move forward, and I just got stuck.
Okay. I don't think I've checked that one out, but I definitely want to check out the Telltale one, because I hear nothing but good stuff about it. And if it's not based on this, if it doesn't follow the show, then I'm definitely going to give it a try. Especially now that they're all out, I can just play it right from the beginning, start the end.
Exactly. I wish I could have like fallen upon this after they had at least 3 of the games.
Yeah. How many are there?
Okay, so
A lot, eh?
Walking Dead season 2, A New Frontier, and then The Walking Dead, the final season, are all the storyline there is all connected.
Okay.
But they do have a Telltale game called The Walking Dead Michonne, and that one's all about her story.
That'd be interesting.
So technically there is one about her, but it's just about Michonne's background with a made-up story to surround it. So it has nothing to do with the show, but she's from the show.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind that,
that's why
though,
I say it's kind of related.
I liked Michonne. She was really badass, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
I would definitely play that one too, just to see her storyline.
Yeah, it's really fun. I love those games a lot.
Yeah, that is awesome. You got me sold. I'm gonna have to check it out. Walking Dead.
They even made a Borderlands one. It's called Tales from the Borderlands. That's a good game too.
I won't lie to you. I've never played the Borderland games. I know.
So I played through the first and the second one, and now that Borderlands 3 is coming out, I really want someone to help me play pre-sequel, because I have yet to play all the way through on pre-sequel. Nobody plays it.
I've never played any of them. I honestly, I've heard of Borderlands, but I never seen any of it until they announced the third one. And then I was like, oh, this game looks pretty sick. And then everyone's been playing it lately because they announced it. So then I've been watching it, and I'm like, wow, I love the art style of the game. Like, it looks so...
Yeah, the cell shading.
Yeah, like, it's so amazing. And I love the banter of the characters, like just the...
Oh, yeah, they're awesome.
Oh, yeah. So that's
they're hilarious.
Game. It's on my list of many games to get at.
I highly suggest those.
I got it. You're the second person now in the last 2 days who's as soon as I told them that, they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, they hate me.
Yeah, it's one of those games that it's so funny and it's hard at the same time. So you play with friends to get through them, and they're just really fun to play. I mean, I love them.
All right. It's on my list. I just added it.
Okay.
When I started streaming, my son was like my biggest inspiration, because he's huge into watching like Dandy DM, Stampy Cat, like a lot of the Minecraft streamers, and that's like his thing. So he always wanted to stream, and then I accidentally streamed one day to him. Well, I purposely streamed to him, but didn't realize I was streaming to Mixer, because I thought when you hit broadcast, it only broadcasted to your party members. I didn't realize it went to everyone. So after that, he kind of he really enjoyed it. And ever since then, he's been my biggest inspiration to continue streaming. For yourself, what was your inspiration to start streaming, and what kind of continues to inspire you?
So I started streaming after I was done with high school and college. And, life happens when you become an adult. So, high school's over. You're like, oh no, my life's over. But then you kind of find your way. And you either go to college or you don't, whatever, life goes on. But you're still in that phase of like whimsical, hey, I'm so, I still have friends around. We still hang out and everything. But then there's that moment or that time frame where life goes from that to like feeling like you have absolutely no one. And for me at the time, I felt like I didn't really have a lot of my friends in the area, and I was just starting to get into playing, games on PC, and I found, I found Twitch through a friend of mine, and they wanted to stream too at the same time. So I was like, hey, let's figure this out together and see if this could be anything. They're like, sweet, yeah, let's do it. So we figured out, what we needed, webcam, having games on Steam. At the time was the big thing to play gaming content from. And then, knowing how to set up your stream and everything, we all like kind of came together. A couple friends of mine and I came together, figured it out, and then, pressed, go live. And I quickly gravitated towards it because I could be myself. I could do it for long periods of time and not really notice, time going by, because it was so much fun. Yes. Being able to get that connection with those viewers to become friends with people. I actually became friends with a girl and her boyfriend, and I ended up going to visit them in Nebraska. And it was the weirdest thing, because I would have never thought to go meet someone I had never met before except for, online or whatever. And it ended up being a great friendship and everything. And it was a great trip too. And I don't know, it inspired me to start just so I could have those connections again, regardless of them being, IRL. It was still a form of connecting with other people, which I just love people for the most part.
And even if it's not IRL, it's still a genuine connection. Because I mean, I like personally, I met my wife. We met over internet, and we've been together now 6.5 years. And
congratulations!
I mean, thank you. And I mean, that stigma, I think, is should be gone by now. Like, you can meet and make genuine connections with people online through streaming, through wherever. Like, there's so many people that I've met through streaming now that I consider family, basically. Like, I check in every day with them. We shared everything together. Like, it's just, the connections are there and they can be made.
Yeah, that was a big thing with me too, is just having those connections. But I also met my boyfriend online. We met, like, I would be streaming, and there was a moment in time where I really liked playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Yep. And I actually met my boyfriend in a lobby.
There you go.
He was like, do you know how to play? And I was like, I played for a while, but I just suck. I mean, I'm not going to take a game seriously so I can pull my hair out over it. I just like to have fun with games. And, he liked how I was really positive, even though I was sucking and, wasn't really eating up what the haters had to say, like, yo, you suck, you blow, you need to uninstall, it's just like, whatever. So we added each other on Steam, and we just kept playing together in that game. And that was like our game that we played.
That is so
and
cool.
Then, after time went on, we were probably friends for, I'd say, 4 or 5 months. And then a relationship started to happen, and my parents thought I was crazy to want to start a relationship with someone I had never met. And when I went to visit him for the very first time, they were like, you need to call us every 5 minutes. Let us know you're not dead and everything. and mind you, I'm like 27, 28 at the time. So it's like, I'm an adult.
Yeah. I can take care of myself, Mom.
Y'all need to take the hooks out right now.
Yeah. At the umbilical
it's
cord.
Happening. Yeah, it's happening whether you like it or not. And it ended up being great. We've been together over 2 years now. So
nice. See,
the stigma is horrible, but, friendships can happen from it.
Exactly. Because, I mean, we just had this conversation yesterday with someone, and it's like, where would you even, like, I remember when I was in my early 20s, the only place to meet girls was go to the bar. Go to the bar, go to the pub, go to the whatever. And I look back now and I'm like, why would I want to do that? The person's not in their right mind, for starters, most times anyway. And they're looking just to hook up as well. So it's like, is that really where is that what I want to tell my future kids at the time anyway? Is like, I met your mom and she was grinding on her best friend so-and-so. Like, no.
I just feel like you can't have like a genuine exchange at a place like that.
Not at all. And that's the thing. Like, it was the same with me and my wife. We talked for a good 4 or 5 months before we even met each other. Like, it started off just texts, and then we started calling each other, and then it was the same thing. And then gradually it grew into what it is now. We got married 2 years ago, and almost 3 years ago now, actually. And I don't know, we're happy.
Yeah.
And it was over the internet, people.
Yeah. And that's what I tell a lot of people, because, growing up, high school, whatever, like, I wasn't in the big dating scene. I didn't really, dwell on not having someone if I was single or whatever. Yeah. It's the moments where you're not expecting to meet someone and it just happens that it's like the best.
Yep.
Because I was actually dating somebody at the time when I met him playing games, and nothing, was happening between us or whatever. But it was just like having that friend that ends up, becoming your significant other, that you're just like, what the hell? Like, I wasn't even expecting this to happen, It just kind of happened, and it was like in the most oddball of ways. Like, you guys met playing Counter-Strike. Like, there's not going to be anything there, Yeah. I get crazy looks when I tell people that I met him playing a video game. They're like, "You're serious?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're just like, that ain't going to last, the looks that you get.
Yeah, no, I know exactly. It's not going to last. It'll last.
Yeah.
Fall victim to that, people.
Yeah. I just don't get why that always has to be that stigma. I don't get it.
I think it's because it's something that was so new and people didn't, because you got to think probably way back in the day, parents probably thought, oh, why do you mean you met so-and-so at the bar? That's so wrong. You should have met them at the church or the local community get together, local barbecue. It's just the evolution of society, really. Like now our generation is digital. This is how we're going to meet people. This is how we're going to make connections.
Yeah.
Case in point was streaming.
But with that, not everybody is who they say they are online, people.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yep. Catfishing
Stay
is real.
aware of different things. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Stay aware of things. If you need help trying to figure out what's going on, ask someone to translate it or look at it for you, because most of the time you need a different angle to look at something if you're not sure.
Yep. You need a different angle and an urban dictionary, because some of these...
I've known too many people to get catfished and be lied to by people that aren't who they say they are. So just having that as cautionary tale, because really nobody is who they say they are until you actually meet them, get to know them.
Yeah.
And all that jazz.
That is the one thing with the internet, is you can be whoever you want to be, but the truth always comes out.
It's scary though that people decide to do that.
I don't understand what the fascination is with that. Like, it's just, when I watch those catfish shows, I'm like, why? What did you get out of it?
It's people being unhappy with their current situation, and they don't want to do anything to change it except for hurting others, because it makes them feel powerful, and it's sad.
Yeah,
and
it really is.
The same thing with trolls too, and people that hurt people's feelings for no reason. It's like it makes them feel in control of something, that, oh, I inflicted pain on you because I did something. That's what I wanted to do, so I did it, and then I got they get that rise out of somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that makes them want to keep doing more because they can control, what's happening, and they do it, and then they get, usually the result that they want, hurting someone.
Yeah.
And
they go get their 5 minutes laugh with their friends and then move on to the next victim.
Yeah, it's just sad that people don't really realize what kind of harm they're doing, not only for the person that's involved that they're trying to hurt, but, you burn multiple bridges being a troll, and then maybe later down the road they want to start streaming and everything, and it's like, oh, nope, nothing's going to happen for you because you are hateful.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I like about Mixer too, where it still is in its infant stages. The community is so small and close-knit that you could have someone jump in to your channel. Like, oh, I'll have some mods who mod for like 10 other people, and the minute they see someone pop in, they'll whisper me, hey, this so-and-so just got banned from so-and-so's channel for doing this. Want me to ban them right away? And I'll be like, no, let's just keep an eye on them, and we'll see if they do the same thing here, or if it was just, depending on what it was. If it was something straight out racist and like just right out there, get rid of them before they even have a chance. But if it was something silly, like, I can't even think of something silly. If they just came in and they're like, hey, you're trash, well, whatever.
Yeah.
I can deal with that. I can kind of diffuse that and turn them around. But if it's something like right out there, get rid of them right away. But that's what I like with the Mixer community, because everyone talks. And I've gone sometimes from one stream to another and seen a troll there, and I'll whisper to the streamer and be like, hey, just so you know, this guy was in my stream earlier. This is what he did. It's on you now. And then they'll take the advice and say, all right, cool. And then that person usually will see me start typing, and then they'll be like, oh, and then they just disappear because they know right away, oh, I already got banned by that guy. I should just back away now and keep my distance.
Yeah.
But I do have a couple.
It's great that we have that.
Yeah, it like you said, it's the best part about Mixer is the community. I love it. But I do have some fun questions to end off on. They're kind of, I don't think I sent you these ones. I might have, I might not have though. But if you could have any superpower, what superpower would it be and why?
Oh, let's see. Probably flight. The being able to fly, because I have a fear of heights, so being able to combat that would be great.
Yep.
And then also being able to fly and visit, family, friends, and it not having to spend on plane tickets or driving or whatever would be great. So it's like, oh, you want me to be there that day? Okay, I'm headed there right now. I'm gonna be there in 5 hours or whatever.
Yep. Be there in 5 hours. No, don't have to worry about plane tickets, gas, traffic, nothing.
Exactly. I hate traveling.
Yeah.
It just stinks.
It does.
So that's what I would pick.
No, I love it. Next one is if a genie could grant you 3 wishes right now, what would you wish for and why?
probably I wouldn't wish for like, like the standard, like, oh, I wish for $1 million. Like,
Yep.
I wouldn't wish for that, but I'd probably wish for like financial stability. So
Yep.
being able to live my life and not have to worry about money ever again would probably be my first one.
Yep. I like that.
Second one would probably be being able to not have anxiety and depression anymore.
Yeah.
To be just genuinely happy, not forced happy, but genuine happiness. To be able to find it in anything and everything that I, come into contact with. And then third one, I'd probably wish for like a swimming pool full of puppies because I love dogs so much. And I just want to have just like a whole puppy ranch where I can just run outside and just get pummeled by a whole pile of puppies because I love them.
You'd have to come here then. We have 4 dogs.
Oh, I love them. I love dogs so much.
We got 2 huskies, a Yorkie, and a Chihuahua.
Oh my gosh, I love it. My best friend has a husky, and she is my favorite thing in the world.
I want another one. Like, I keep telling the wife, I'm like, we need to get one more because, we originally got Coda. We bought him purebred as a puppy. And then as he got to that like 1 year, 1.5 year mark where he was like so hyper, we were like, okay, we need to get a second one to tire him out. So then we adopted one, but now Coda's at that stage where he's calm now and he's just like kind of like an old not grumpy, but just like an old man where
lazy.
Yeah. But then Milo, the younger one, is at that stage now where he's like, go, 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 go. So I'm like, we need to get another one for Milo now. But
just a vicious cycle.
I think if we owned an acreage and we hadn't just had a baby, we'd probably have this third dog. Because my wife was showing me pictures the other day of puppies up for adoption.
Oh.
And I'm like, we should get that one. She's like, but where do we put it? We already have 2 kennels. We already have all the baby stuff. We have this and that. Like I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, we'll find room.
Yeah. Right.
Let's find room for puppies.
I love dogs so much. They're so precious.
Same. Last question. It's kind of a fun one. What would you consider to be your deepest fear? And what would you consider to be your most irrational fear?
Oh, geez. Deepest fear?
Yes.
So I'm afraid of a lot of things, so I have to do some archiving and seeing which one takes the top rank. So I know what my irrational one is. So my deepest fear is probably being afraid of the dark.
Oh, really?
I've always been afraid of the dark, and I have a very overactive imagination that if it's dark, I get instantly scared. I think things are there. I see things. I hear things. It's really weird. Like my brain just goes crazy.
Goes overdrive.
Like, yes, and it's like it's something that's always affected me, and I absolutely hate it. Like when I saw The Sixth Sense as a kid, I freaked out, and I had a nightlight on. Probably for a good couple days after I watched it.
Yeah.
But it's horrible. The nightlight that I had was actually the same color of like the light that you'd see in the movie, like the gold yellow type of dimmed color. And it would project like the reflections of stuff or the shadows of stuff onto my wall. So when I turn it on and go to sleep, I'm like, oh crap, I'm going to see something like come up and like be in the shape of a person on my wall because I'd face the wall. And I was like, this was the worst idea ever. And I would be so afraid to like roll over to look where the light is at just because of that movie and just it being dark. So that's probably my deepest fear is being in the dark because I hate it. But my most irrational... Exactly. That's why I hate it.
Yep.
And my most irrational fear is ever since I was little, I do not like the sound of toothbrushes.
Really?
It freaks me out. And I can't look at bristles. I can't feel them without getting like full body chills. If I hear it, I have to plug my ears and walk out. Like I just can't. And I get the answer, or the question,
how do you brush your teeth?
Do you brush your teeth? How do you brush your teeth if you don't like the sound? And it's the weirdest thing. I can't hear it inside my, like when I'm brushing my teeth because I keep my lips closed so I don't hear it.
Yeah.
I can't hear it when I'm brushing them. But if I hear somebody else or if I'm watching a TV show with it or a movie or a commercial, it's like full blown like, oh, make it stop, help. No, like, I hate it.
That is
and then,
so how do you put the toothpaste on the bristles without looking at it?
Practice.
Right, I suppose, yeah, just feel them. Can you touch them?
Years. Oh no. Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely not.
That's definitely irrational.
Yeah. Well, you remember those commercials back in the day where they used the tomato to represent your gums?
Oh yeah.
And
Yep.
they had the commercial where they rubbed the toothbrush around the tomato on the commercial with no toothpaste or anything. But they're like, look at how gentle and soft they are. They won't hurt your gums. And I hated those because I wasn't expecting, because not everyone was like that. So
Yeah.
I'd watch it or like be watching TV or like looking away, listening to it. And then all of a sudden you hear that sound and you just know it's like, oh God, make it stop. Absolutely horrible.
That is awesome. I love that. What an awesome way to end out. Is there any questions I didn't ask you that I should have, or anything you would like to add or throw in before we get all your links and whatnot?
I always like, and I don't know why, but I always like, where do you see yourself in the next year or so, like with streaming?
Okay.
Maybe it's a good one.
Yes. Where do you see yourself?
I would like to be almost full-time. I can't say full-time because I just don't know where things are going to lead, but I'd love to have, a good setup that's reliable, rebuild my community, because I have kind of on hiatus last couple months just because of moving and everything. But I'd love to, have my community back, be on a schedule, and just create my community so I can at some point be partnered, because that's always been something I've been interested in, and just keeping my community close and letting them know that I'm there for them, and I always know that they're there for me. So just having that stability in my streaming, and then also my content too, is where I'd like to see myself in a year, or maybe less than a year. I mean, I don't want to push it, but having a good goal is great.
Yeah, and it's definitely good to have a good goal, and you definitely want to have at least some sort of. It goes all back to the SMART goal setting. You want to have at least an end in sight, where you don't want to leave it open ended. Be like, eventually I want to do this. Well, no, you want to make sure set it, even if like a year or two is more than enough time, really, because then you can set small goals in between there to in the end accomplish the main goal.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I love that. Do you have a special name for your community?
See, this is so I really didn't. And at one point, and it still kind of floats around on my bots that say stuff to the streamers or the viewers on my stream. I used to be called people soul stealers because I'm redheaded and we're not supposed to have souls and stuff. So I kind of went with that, but then I just started to not like it. So I just redid all my stuff as just generic, like, hey guys, what's going on? Because I don't know. I've been working on trying to figure out to rebrand in a way that makes it more cohesive for like what I do with my content, but I just haven't really had that
with that inspiration
ding,
yet.
Like the light, the light bulb hasn't come on for that. So right now, it's just, hey guys, what's going on? Very formal.
Very formal. So, which isn't bad either. But once you get that inspiration, then that's when everything's gonna click and just
exactly. And I can't wait for that moment to happen because I feel weird just being like, hey guys, what's going on?
Yeah. Hey you guys, what's up?
Hey you, how's it going?
Exactly. So. Awesome. Well, again, what I'll get you to do now is drop any of your links you want to share, Mixer, Instagram, Twitter, anything at all. Even your Discord, if you want to share that, you can send me an invite link and I'll link it in the description because I know that'd be kind of hard to say. Discord.gg/RFTF97. Like,
did she say M or N?
Exactly. So I'll just link that into the description.
Alrighty.
So I'll get you to say everything else, and I'll link everything as well in the description, everyone, so that way you don't have to rush to get a pen and paper. But if you have one handy, you can write it down as she says it right now.
All right, guys. Thank you again, Mystic Mike, for having me.
Yes.
Again,
thank you.
My name is Jeshkarae. You can find me at mixer.com/Jeshkarae, and then also Jeshkarae on Instagram and Twitter. I don't post a lot of videos on YouTube, but if you want to search for me, you can either find it under Jeshkarae or Jeshkarae Twitch, because I don't know how to change that link. So, if you guys want to follow me and just see updates on what I'm doing just in everyday life and then also for future streams, that'd be awesome.
Perfect. Awesome. And guys, like I said, all that will be linked into the description as well. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to check her out. When are you streaming next? You know, offhand, or do you have somewhat of a temporary schedule?
I don't have a temporary schedule yet, just because I am having a lot of issues with my setup at the moment.
Right. Yep.
So I am going to be planning some streams coming up. So definitely check out my Twitter for upcoming streams, because I will post about those ahead of time. And yeah, once I get something more locked down in terms of setup that is reliable, I will start to have a schedule set up.
Perfect. I can't wait. I'm gonna definitely. I gotta turn on my notifications because I want to catch one of your streams. See if I can't happen to catch another Blender stream.
That would be awesome. I will have one of those coming up. Perfect.
I can't wait. I definitely want to see it. Make sure you add some sour cream in there as well. Again.
Oh, it'll cost you.
That's. I want to say though, right? It'll be worth it, but then at the same time, I know you could probably turn around and get me back in the future too. So
definitely, I'll mail you some onions. Because I know how much you like them now. So
they got lost. I don't know why. They always get lost when they come here. Yeah.
Darn, I have the tracking number, so maybe I should call the post office.
Yes.
but thank you again for having me. I really enjoyed talking with you about
me too.
All this stuff.
It was awesome. Thank you very much, and peace and love, everyone. Have a good one. Later. This concludes another episode of Behind the BS, Behind the Broadcasting Software. Please like and subscribe to be notified when the next episode drops. To find out how you could become a guest on Behind the BS, please email info@behindthebs.net or follow us on Twitter at @behind_BS. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Peace and love.